And honestly, in 2025, it's never been easier to be a business owner. Really, you just need an internet connection and a laptop. You can be a one-man band for a very long time. I was a one-man band for forever, guys, up until just the last few months. The last few months ago, I hired an assistant that's been really helpful and really making it easier for me to produce more videos. Especially, I started the Clips channel about a month ago, and a lot of people seem to be enjoying that. Those are things that I never would have been able to do if I didn't hire an assistant, because before I was just doing everything myself. But there's so many low overhead business opportunities that you can get into these days. It's kind of insane. And the entire world could be your clientele because of the internet and because of AI. And as a small business operator, you can pivot on a dime if you need to. If you're trying something that's not working, you can easily try something else. So at the end of the day, what's really riskier? Is it riskier to bet on yourself and create multiple streams of income that make it much easier to survive an economic downturn, or have a job and a degree, and once you lose that, pray and hope you're going to be able to replace that with ease? Well, just ask people how that's going right now. If you just look around at the average person, talk to your neighbors, they're exhausted after work, they scroll through social media endlessly for hours. That's their form of entertainment. They binge content instead of create anything or do anything with their free time. And they constantly feel behind, and you hear about it because they're always complaining about it. This entire world has been essentially engineered to keep people tired and distracted, so that way they never kind of snap out of it and think the way we're talking about here. I know I talk a lot on this channel about how bad the job market is, and that might scare people into thinking that they really need to have a job. But the goal of talking about this stuff isn't really to scare anybody. It's more just to educate everyone about this current state of affairs. If you have a job, you probably want to hang on to it, especially if you have no interest in becoming a business owner or an entrepreneur. But vice versa, because of how bad the job market is, maybe this is the perfect time to step out of that and find a new way to make a living. You decide which path you want to take. Personally, I can tell you, as somebody who's been working for themselves since 21 years old, when I got my real estate license, the number one thing that I enjoy about it isn't the money I make. I mean, that's definitely part of it, but it's also the freedom, guys, the freedom to be able to do what I feel like and make my own schedule 100%. Way more freedom than I had when I was working in real estate, by the way. You still got to go by other people's schedules because you have to show houses and show up when people are available. I don't have to do that anymore. But besides that, even after 6 years of being on YouTube now, I still get excited and I wake up in the morning ready and feeling energized to come out here and make these videos for you guys, because I can feel how much everybody appreciates it and how much it has helped all the different people who watch this channel, because you constantly tell me about it, which I'm extremely grateful for. And I'm extremely grateful for everybody who continuously shows up and watches all of my videos. Even if you only watch a handful of them per month, I appreciate you too. But that's one giant difference between working for myself and having a job that I can point to, is feeling that excitement even 6 years in, happy and ready to get up and do my work, versus having a job was just awful. You wake up to the alarm clock, you're like dreading what you're going to have to do today, or what your boss might say, or if you might get fired today, or if you're going to get stuck working with Steve, who is a little bit slow. You know what I mean? Here's the outline and the game plan for anybody who's interested in doing this, guys. First of all, take a big hard look at your life and make sure you have a budget and list out all your monthly expenses and figure out the leanest possible way you can live for the next couple of years while you're building your side business, okay? At the same time, identify a skill or service that you might be able to offer somebody, something that you already maybe do at your work, or something you've had experience with in the past, or something that you have a big hobby or passion for. Identify that, because that's probably going to be the direction you're going to be going in. The next thing you got to do is you package that into an offer that you can sell, whatever that might look like. You're going to take on bookkeeping services for 10 new people this year, or I'm going to sell freelance photographs to 10 new clients this year. Start small, and then you get your first client. You reach out to your network and other businesses, and you don't beg, you present value. You give them an offer of how you can really truly help somebody. Like, one thing I think about from my real estate days was real estate photography, guys. Like, those guys made decent money. I would pay $300 for a photographer to show up for 1 hour and take professional photos of a listing. It was a business expense for me. It was business for them. They could take better pictures than I ever could because they have professional gear and cameras and have studied photography and know how to do all this stuff. And it was well worth the money. Help the listing sell faster, give it better exposure, whatever. And then as you gain experience, as you get more clients, and as you start getting busy, now you can raise your prices. You can also offer higher value or higher ticket items. And you can also start building systems and even replicating your efforts so that way you're not alone anymore. Maybe if you're working a photography business, let's run with that, the real estate photography, you're doing it alone for 2 or 3 years. Well, now you can afford to hire somebody else as an employee to go and pick up all of the gigs that you don't have time for or don't really care to do anymore. And once you have finally replaced your 9-to-5 income, now you can actually quit your job if you want to, or you can continue working it if you have time to do both and save and invest even more money. And this is the part where a lot of people are going to get afraid and feel hung up. But if you've been doing something for a few years now and it's been working out beautifully and you're consistently earning income from it, don't be scared, guys, because the moment you quit your job, it's going to give you even more motivation and fuel to get out and do that every day. And you're also going to have more time to dedicate to your new business venture, which is ultimately going to make you more money. Like my own personal example, once I stopped selling real estate full time and transitioned into YouTube full time and just did real estate as a side gig here and there, my income basically doubled or even tripled within a year. And that's because I was able to fully focus on my new business rather than still be worried about what's going on with what I used to do. And if whatever I just said sounds too scary or too risky for you, it's okay, because starting a business isn't for everyone. I really wanted to make this video to really more to inspire people who are tired of the 9-to-5, people who are tired of the horrible job market to do something else. Not everybody wants to be a business owner, and somebody has to work all the jobs that are available. It's unrealistic to think that everyone can or wants to do this. So decide which kind of person you are and move forward with it, guys. If you're happy with your current job, you're happy with the way things are, and you're able to make a good living, stick with it. Why rock the boat if you're happy, right? That's the main thing. Are you satisfied with where it is? If you're not, and you're worried about your job constantly, especially with all the layoffs going on and the economy getting worse, maybe it's time to start thinking about that passion or side project that you've always wondered about, but were just too afraid to do. So I hope this video really helps inspire and educate people on what they could be doing in order to basically circumvent this horrible job market. And even if this helps, 3, 5, or 10 people who watch my channel kind of reshape their thinking and do something different with their lives, then to me, that is a job well done and mission accomplished. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and put in the comments below what type of business you're looking at starting and what type of job you're going to be leaving in order to start your business. And if you guys don't want to wait for my next video to come out, check out this one on the screen right over here, and I'll see you in the next one.